Hello, everybody, and welcome to Toffee Bluecast pre-match. The derby. Here we are, Everton versus Liverpool tomorrow. We're here the night before. Get involved in the comments. I can see you all coming on. I will drop your comments on the screen and try and interact with you as much as possible. For anybody that's new, we go through, look at both teams' form. We'll look at Liverpool's lineup. I don't know whether to call them the Shite or Liverpool. We'll look at their lineup. Then me and Lee will do a joint lineup for Everton. We'll try and agree on it. We'll put your lineups on the screen in the comments, and then we'll finish with score predictions. So it'll be a good little bit of fun. Get involved on the pre-match. So yes, I've got him here. Lee is in the building. I've been wanting to get you on. We do like a variety of guests. How you doing, mate? You all right?
I'm very well, mate. Yeah. It's nice to be on. How are you?
Yeah, all good, mate. All good. Ready for this? What a game to have you on, eh? A good debut, isn't it?
Well, it depends which way you look at it, doesn't it? If you want me the most nervous you'll probably get me, then yeah, it's a good time to get me on because I hate derbies. I hate Derby Eve. I hate everything about them. So that's why I'm sat here with a glass of, I wish I could call it a different colour, but red, trying to settle the nerves before tomorrow. And you've not even got, you're waking up and you're straight to game, aren't you? Because of the early kickoff. So yeah, nerves are kicking in.
Paul, who normally hosts the channel with me, he's going tomorrow as well, and he's been exactly the same as you. He's been like, I'm nervous. I hate it. I hate it. I hate it. I hate the derbies. And I said, get yourself up for it. Come on, get your boxing gloves on. Get yourself ready. We're going to do it. And of course, it's an hard game. It is an hard game, and we'll probably look into why it's a hard game now because, unfortunately, I hate to do this because I never check on Liverpool. I always hope that they'll drop off the top of the table at the minute, but I never really watch the games majorly. And I always block Liverpool fans when they add me on X. But I do have to talk about them, unfortunately. We haven't got an opposition fan on. I had one lined up, but I didn't do it. I didn't want to. You know what I mean? I didn't want to hear him happy about them. So let's do this then, Lee. Right. So first team, look, there they are. Liverpool's results. So this is Liverpool's results, people. And I had to write that out. I had to write Liverpool that many times and I hated it. I was going to write Liverpool because sometimes I forgot to put the L. And it was Liverpool and it come up with a spell thing. And I was going to leave it. But no, I've had to do it professional for you listeners. But some games, Lee, I don't know whether you agree with me. They've been lucky. And I know you need luck in football. But I watched them... I did watch them against Wolves. I thought Wolves was unlucky.
Mm-hmm.
I watched them against Crystal Palace, and Crystal Palace should have scored at the end.
Dan, I don't know how long you've been watching Liverpool for, mate, but this has been the story since I can remember. All of my life, Liverpool have had the rub of the green, they've had luck. But I think we'd be very naive. And I think we'd be living up to their bitter tag if we were to just say they've just been lucky. Listen, they're a good side. They're a good side. I hate it, and I wish they weren't, but they're a good side. They're riddled with quality all over the bit, especially forward areas. They've just got an embarrassment of riches up there. But they're not impenetrable. They're not unbeatable, are they? And Newcastle put 3 past them. And Newcastle have been struggling. Newcastle put three past them the other day. Forest went there to Anfield and won. Obviously, we've beat them not too long ago, 7 months ago, whatever it was. So, yeah, listen, you can be afraid of them. You can go into it just full of fear and be consumed by what they are. Or you can give them something to worry about. And I think Goodison's last derby, feverish kick off the weather, everything added into the mix, I think it'll make it very uncomfortable for Liverpool. And our style of play, it showed in April, they don't like it. And if you get in the face and you get up them, they don't like it at all. And that can be a leveller. So there's things to be optimistic about, but make no mistake, they're a good side, unfortunately.
Yeah, well, the Red Shite, they are a good side. Like you say, you look at the table there, they are informed, of course they are. But I've been on a couple of football channels and I've said, someone needs to beat them. Someone needs to stop this groove because I don't want them to win the league. I really don't. It would fume me. And Newcastle got a draw, and someone needs to beat them. And I think that when you need someone to beat them, Lee,
Someone will beat them. As I say, they're not Arsenal 2004. They're not Man City.
Could we be the people that beat them? I mean, look, we did it. Like you've just mentioned, I was going to put it on as you said it. You lost the league at Goodison Park. The last time we played them. We've got to remember that, because as they say, when you knock a boxer out, Lee, like if a boxer's been knocked out, he'll remember that you knocked him out when you come up against him again, and it rattles him. And they've got scars from us. They have.
Yeah, they have. Obviously, that I was gutted because that's the first derby I've missed at Goodison in 33 years, since 1991. And I couldn't go to that, so I'm gutted, and I just don't want it to be the case where I've missed the last win against them at Goodison. But of course, they're not unbeatable. They're not, as I say, they're not at the level of like an invincible side. They're good. They're very good, but they'll get beat. They'll run into a little bit of form where they'll get injuries, or a little bit of doubt will creep in. And who knows, that result against Newcastle the other day, that will have put a little bit of doubt in their mind. They've just conceded 3 goals to a side that were really struggling beforehand. And they don't want to come to Goodison. And I know we haven't beat them many times, Dan, but they haven't beat us many times at Goodison in recent years either. It's just, we won last year, and then they just draw for as far as you can go back. And we've been really close on a number of occasions. So it's difficult with the underdogs. They're better than us, but yeah, we can win tomorrow. Of course we can.
No, I'd love to start, because when you look at the table, they missed out on 2 points against Newcastle. They missed out on 3 points against us, where a lot of people are saying they've already won the league. We could start that full, and I'd love for us to, where I've just put up, you lost the league at Goodison Park. It'd be nice, because I think if we did beat them in this derby and they didn't win the league, they'd look back at this game, if we beat them, they'd look back at this game and say, this game was what started the fall. And I want us to do that. I really do.
So do I, yeah.
Right, here we go, Lee. There's a bit of orange here. This is Everton's form. I've got them off now. Yeah, this is Everton's.
Not as much green on there, is there?
No, talk to me. What do you think on this?
It's not been great. I went on Radio Merseyside a couple of weeks back, and we were dissecting the form and stuff. And I know you can look at, there's not much red there, but there's not enough green there, considering the level of the opposition. You look at Leicester away at the bottom. I think at 1-1, I mean, they got a really spawny equaliser, and at 1-1, the game was just Everton's. It was there for the taking if we wanted it, and it was like we just accepted the 1-1, didn't make changes, and we just saw out the result, which I thought was really disappointing because they're really poor. Palace 2-1, yeah, we've won, but the performance wasn't great. But it's a win, that's all you're bothered about. Newcastle, I think that was a chance missed as well, because they were really depleted on the night, especially in forward areas, and I think again, we were just happy to take a 0-0, and that's Dyche's mindset, unfortunately. 0-0's a good result and a clean sheet. Ipswich was the best performance of the lot. Really convincing away performance. Could have been 4 or 5 quite easily, but yeah, we strolled that one at a canter. Fulham was dreadful, absolutely dreadful. That's one of the worst performances I've seen in recent years. I mean, Fulham were really unlucky not to come away comfortable winners that night, and a fortunate 94th minute equaliser sort of papers over the cracks a little bit there, but that was awful, and you knew what was coming next. Southampton away, dreadful side, will finish rock bottom this season without any shadow of a doubt, and we allowed them to get their first win and build a little bit of confidence and stuff. Again, just really negative from the offset. Didn't look to take the game to them despite their limitations. That was the game where he didn't start Branthwaite as well, even though he was fully fit. So that was where things started to really turn and get a little bit edgy. West Ham, it's the same theme. Poor side, struggling before the game, low on confidence, manager under pressure. There for the taking if we wanted it, but sort of settled for a 0-0. Didn't really go for it. Devoid of ideas, just kept doing the same thing over and over again. Brentford at home, just again, a bore draw. There was really nothing there. It was a tepid performance, one to forget, and it's games like that against the teams that are sort of mid-table in and around you that you want to be winning, especially the last season at Goodison Park. But again, another one ticked off where we didn't win. United speaks for itself. Look, his first game in charge, that was always going to be a defeat, but depressing just how obvious it was and how predictable it was. And and they shown at the weekend against Arsenal that they're not a great side, and we made them look really, really good. And then obviously a pleasing win at midweek. But I'm going to say we won 4-0, but I don't think it was great. It was like, I don't think it was the best performance in the world. The set pieces were great and Wolves were dire. And every time we launched the ball into the box, it looked like we were going to score, but it wasn't a great performance in open play. It was better, and I thought we showed more intent, and I liked the way we kept pressing and trying to score more goals. So there were positives out of it, but it's a win, and a win can breed confidence. So heading into a derby, it looks much rosier than it did 4 or 5 days back, heading into that Wolves game where it looked like we couldn't buy a win. But as I say, confidence is a big thing in football. Goodison Park should be a weapon, and I hope we use it tomorrow, because we'll all look back on tomorrow, won't we, one day, and think, that was the last derby, and I just want it to go the right way. I really do. I don't want to see them lot come and take the 3 points and be celebrating in our face. I just don't want that to happen. So I'm up for it. I'm sure everyone else is right up for it as well.
I think they'll because they know it's the last game at Goodison Park. They'll massively want that on us. They want it anyway, but I think because they know it's the last one, they'll want to ruin the party. And also, I think because we beat them in the last derby, that's really hurt them. Every time a cop-eye, red shot, whatever you want to call them, every time someone said to me, I put a short up of Everton and you get a cop, but they never leave you alone. They're obsessed with Everton. And they pop up in the comments saying Everton are crap. And I just messaged back saying Branthwaite, Calvert-Lewin, 2-0. And they've got no comeback. And it's been so good to have that ammunition for a long time. And to have it again would be amazing. But they haven't liked it. I think that they want revenge. So we've got to be ready for this. We really have.
Oh, as much as you say they're not bothered about little old Everton, don't you listen to that. Dan, that's a load of nonsense. As I say, they hate us just as much as we hate them. And it's their biggest game of the season. It's not Man United. For the Scouse Reds that you speak to, it's still Everton. We're the ones that get under the skin. You've only got to look at the reaction to the stadium. The amount of jealousy that you see online. And it's not just online. It's when I've heard it on the train, going to work and stuff, and you're going past Bramley Moor, and it's incredible. Unless you're an absolute lunatic or a Liverpoolian, it's unbelievable. It's like a feat of engineering. It's unique. It's just the level of detail. But the frothing at the mouth, going, oh, look at that, it's crap, or, it'll be the best stadium in the Championship, that boring line. They can't stand it, because we've got something that they haven't got. And I think that's what winds Liverpool fans up a lot of the time. Yes, they're successful, but it's easy to be a Liverpoolian. And I think there's something about being an Evertonian and the localness of the support, and how much all Evertonians care about the club and are invested in it. That just sets us apart a little bit from them, and I don't think they like that. I don't think they can come to terms with it. So listen, they can keep your cups. Of course, I want to see Everton win stuff and win silverware and experience that, but I wouldn't swap being an Evertonian for being one of them for all the tea in China.
No, I'm completely with you on that, and I think we over. As much as I've hated these bad times that have been over the relegation battles and stuff like that, we've really have shown that we are the people's club, and the way we come together. They try and copy as well, though, don't they? When we do something, I don't know if you noticed that we do something, and they see it and they go, "Look, this is how you do it." And they do try and copy, and like you say, they act like they're not bothered, but they really are. They really are bothered.
Yeah.
Right, so I've got to put their team on the screen here. And I've just gone for what they played last game. This might not be what they play this time, by the way, but it is what they played against Newcastle. So that's all I could really use. What you're scared of here, Lee, and what do you see as a weakness? That's what we normally ask on the show. And people in the comments, what you're scared of, what you see as a weakness.
I'm scared of the front four. I'd be surprised if Núñez starts, to be fair, because I do think he's a weak link. He's crap. I'm sorry, he is. He's crap. He's a donkey. He's a South American Andy Carroll. I hope he does start. I really do. I hope he does start because you can see Branthwaite and co having him in the pocket. But Salah's on fire. He really is. I think he's accountable for 75% of their goals, either goals or assists this season, which is frightening. So it looks like the inhalers are back. That's how it seems to me. But there's goals everywhere in that side. I think Gakpo is every player they seem to sign hits the ground running, apart from Nunes. But Gakpo's a good player. Curtis Jones, again, someone who was sort of you thought was on the periphery of things and was a little bit of a fringe player going back last season, but he's stepped up a little bit as well. I think where you can get at Liverpool is what Newcastle show in the week. You can get at them at the back. You can, and they don't like it in the face. They're used to teams rolling over and getting their bellies tickled against them, almost like they've lost the game before they've come out the tunnel. When you get in the face and you press them and you rough them up a little bit, the likes of Van Dijk, you've seen he throws his toys out the pram. He can't handle it because this big fake hardman act that he tries to put on every week, the mask slips and he's petulant. And we can play on that tomorrow. But you need a strong referee, and that's a different story. If you look at Trent Alexander-Arnold at right, he's there to be got at. You saw the performance in April. His defensive capabilities are there to be questioned. Brilliant on the ball. Lovely footballer, but as a defender, he can be got at 100%. And the same with Robertson. I think their fullbacks are quite a weak area. It's a pity that our wingers are the same. But if Ndiaye, I know he's gone off the boil. I think in the last few weeks, if he can step back up in terms of his levels, I think he could provide their fullbacks a few problems. And it's set pieces. Everton's set piece delivery against Wolves was absolutely sublime. It's the best I've seen. Almost indefendable at times, the quality that was getting put in the box, especially from Dwight McNeil. And if we can do that again, we'll cause anyone problems, never mind Liverpool. So I think that's what we've just got to make it ugly. Don't let them settle. Use the set pieces to maximum effect and use the Goodison atmosphere. And if there are weaknesses there, mentally, the weaknesses there with Liverpool as well.
The Blues have said in the comments there, I've just chucked it on. Swap McAllister and put Sabozza and swap the right back for Trent Alexander-Arnold. I think you're probably right. Don't think we'll see that right back.
Yeah.
I don't think that'll be the team.
It'll be Trent Alexander. He'll play, won't he? 100%.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And what you just said on Nunes as well, I think they'll play Diaz instead of Nunes because Diaz, I don't know if he's injured, but I don't know why he didn't play that game, but I see him as one of their main. But I hope Nunes plays because I do feel we probably can handle him. I'm not that scared of Nunes. I don't think he's a big player for them. He's not the hype and he doesn't match the cost that they paid for him. No. Salah is the one to watch. He agrees with you there. Nunes would probably be our best player. Do you agree with that?
I don't know. Someone said this at the match against Wolves. We were having a chat and all of that, and we were saying Nunes is crap, but he still scores, doesn't he? Yeah, it's not. But the thing, it's an indirect comparison because the amount of chances they create, he's bound to score and have goal involvements and stuff. But if you put Nunes in Everton's side with the amount of chances that we create, which is probably a third, a quarter of the level that Liverpool do, with his conversion rate, he'd look proper crap.
Well, Danny Ellis has just said DCL should pull straight on to Virgil van Dijk and say, "You're my biatch," I'm going to say. But like you've just said, I do think we need to test Van Dijk. I don't think he's the big I am he makes out. And sometimes when he does get put under pressure, he can be rattled. We learned that in the derby last time. Russ Fulham says that I agree, press them and you can force a mistake. Russ, the Fulham fans, when Fulham have played them, he's always said they're not what they're made out to be. And he says they are very, very beatable. And I do think that they're a good outfit. Of course, they're a good outfit. But I think that we can be the team that beats them the way that we play. They won't like set pieces. There was a comment earlier on further up. Do you think we're too much set pieces, Lee? What do you think on that? It
needs must at the minute, Dan.
Yeah.
It is what it is. We just haven't got the quality elsewhere on the pitch to play any other way. So it's almost a choice of, do you try and play fancy football, but you haven't got the players to do it, and you're just going to come up short. Again, especially against sides of the quality of Liverpool, you're just going to come up short. Or you play to your strengths. And unfortunately, at the minute, our strengths are set pieces and physicality. And if you point to like Calvert-Lewin's just been mentioned there, his best performances are when he bullies players, and he sort of sets himself a challenge to think, I'm going to come out on top of you today, like he did to Van Dijk in the derby in April. So whether Calvert-Lewin starts or not, I don't know, because obviously Brozier put in a great performance midweek. I still expect him to start, to be honest, purely based on probably his performance in the derby in April. But yeah, that's our best bet. We've got to bully them. Like you said there, Van Dijk does not like it when someone just doesn't completely respect him and fall for this blag aura that he thinks he's got about him. If you rough him up a little bit, you pull him in the box and stuff like that when corners are coming in, you can see that he doesn't like it. He gets rattled. He thinks that he deserves protection. No player deserves protection, especially not at Goodison Park tomorrow. You're not going to get any of that.
No, I think with Van Dijk, the moment he looks at Jordan Pickford, I think he gets a little bit scared. So I think Jordan Pickford's probably just going to walk past him.
Why?
I don't know what happened. It was that long ago.
No, I mentioned it.
Yeah, it was that long ago. I can't personally remember, but I do think a certain set of fans remember it like it was yesterday. Because I mean, there was one the other day where the Brentford player got sent off, rightly so, I thought, although he's had the red card taken away. Mm-hmm. And then all of a sudden, we all said that was a bad tackle. It should have been sending off. And then the Van Dijk situation popped up again all of a sudden, and it was there again. And
you believe it?
No, you can't believe it. Right, Lee, let's do this then. People in the comments as well, if you can, we appreciate it. If you can just write your 11 players that you want, or that you think Daesh will play this game. Let us know in the comments what you want your lineup to be. Me and Lee are going to try and agree on a lineup, but I don't know how this is going to go, but it should be fun. Right, Lee, in goals, who are you going for? Are you happy with that formation, Lee?
That's going to be the formation, isn't it?
Yeah, I think so. Who should we chuck in goals, Lee?
Oh, right. Well, let me have a think. England's number
Neville
one.
Southall. Neville Southall, Martin.
Maybe not Neville Southall of 2024, although he'd fill a lot of the goal. But yeah, Pickford will do, I suppose.
I think he's been fantastic. You know, he had a patch where he was really off the boil. I know people won't like me saying that. You know, I think he went off it a little bit.
He did, though. He did.
He put himself back on it.
He did. He's been really good the last couple of games. He without Jordan Pickford, we wouldn't be a Premier League club now. There's no chance.
Last couple of seasons, saved us. He loves it. He loves being the saviour. Like he's at the perfect club for him because he likes being the main man, and he definitely is at Everton. Left back, who are we going for?
Well, are we predicting Daesh's lineup, or is it what I would pick?
I think because we've got to try and get it right. It's got to be what we think Daesh is.
Oh, well, okay. I would be putting Ashley Young left back and putting Patterson in on the right, purely because I think Patterson deserves a go, and Mikalenko's been absolutely appalling. Plus, I think Patterson has performed well in the derby before at Goodison, and he's a Glaswegian. He understands derbies, and he's got that little bit of snide and aggression that you want in your team at home. And I really wish we could see more of Patterson, but it's just not going to happen. So it's going to be Mikalenko left back.
Well, that's what I say. Talk me through what you do and what you think he'd do, which you've just done, which is good because we get an idea of what we think Daesh will do, but what you like as well. You're right, because I remember that. It was Patterson versus Nunes, wasn't it? And Patterson had a cracking game. I remember him smashing him into the corner flag.
Man of the match, yeah.
Yeah, bossing him that game. Centre back. Who are we going for?
It'll be It's
got to be Brown for you, hasn't it? We're going Tarkowski, the other one?
Yeah, definitely. Tarkowski, the other one. He looked back to his best again midweek.
I didn't know that Michael Keane was injured. It's like they kept it quiet, but he says Michael Keane's got a little bit of a knock in the last press, but I didn't know that. So maybe Michael Keane hasn't been getting in just for that reason.
No idea. I mean, he shouldn't be getting in the side anyway. Let's be honest.
No,
He's going to be off in the
so. I'm
summer.
not a big
So,
fan. But you have got a lot of Everton
let's look
fans that are like. You've got a lot of Everton fans, Lee, that because Tarkowski hasn't been playing well, they've been saying Michael Keane is better than Tarkowski now. So I'm not with that. I'm not.
No, he's not better. No, he's clearly not better than him. He's not a better defender than him. He's not as reliable, but I can see where they're coming from because Tarkowski's really struggled this season, and Keane, I don't think he was as good as a lot of people were making out. I think people were starting to get a little bit of recency bias creeping in, but he did okay. And you can't just allow someone to continue putting in bad performances, especially centre back. So I can see the rationale, but there are best partnerships. Statistically, last season they were brilliant. So you've got to get those two back together, playing every week, getting used to each other again. And you saw hopefully the start of that on Wednesday against Wolves. It was a much better performance between the two of them.
Yeah, I think they've got to go through the motions of getting back. I think they deserve a chance. I don't like you say we need a standard. If you're not good enough, you need to get told. You can't get away with being bad. But I do think that Tarkowski was playing when he wasn't fit. I think personally, and I think he looks like he's started to get fully fit again now. Right back, who are you going for, Lee?
Yeah,
you said Young, didn't you?
Ashley Young. Yeah, Ashley Young.
I was with you though because I did see on the X and stuff. Obviously, we all say what we think during games, after games, and all that. And I didn't think Young was that good against Man United, but I did think he was good this game. And it's not about points. It's like generally, some people just because Young was good this game and you called him out the Man United game, they say, "I told you." But it was nice to see him react and step up, and I think he had to. I think he knew he had a bad game.
Sorry, you just cut out a little bit there, Dan. Can you hear me?
Sorry. Yeah, I can hear you all right. Sorry. Just removing that. Who are we going for centre midfield, Lee?
All right, okay. Yeah, as I say, it's not about being right, is it? Ashley Young started the season quite poorly, but he's an Everton player, and I want Everton players to do well. When you're not doing well, I'll want you to come out to the side, and I want other players to get given an opportunity. But in recent weeks, Ashley Young's really stepped up. He's a great professional. He'll have a great influence off the pitch in the dressing room as well. And at the minute, you can't take the right back spot off him because he's playing really well there.
Yeah, I agree. I agree with you. I think he's doing it now. Centre midfield. Who are we going for in the two, Lee? I'm getting some cut up on the centre of midfield. I'll put the team in, and we'll go with that. It is chucking it down where I am, so maybe that could be the reason on the reception. So I'm going to chuck Mangala in. Going to go for Garner Gay. So we're roughly going to. I would say that Daesh personally is going to go the same team as last time. So I'm going to roughly put that in. And if we want to change it, we can change it. Could be signal, Lee. It's absolutely looking it down here. I don't know whether it's signal or something like that. It's the rain's picked up.
Yeah, the weather's horrendous outside. Like really bad. Sorry about that, mate. I don't know what's gone on there.
Work with us, people. Who we going for the front three then? I put Mangala and Garner Gay. Would you agree that's probably going to be what it is?
Yeah. I think for now they're our best two. Yeah, I think Idrissa Gueye still he gives the ball away too many times for me, and he's got to start. I think taking a little bit more care and being more careful in possession. He's really effective, and I think we're a better side when he's playing well and he's in the team. But he's been really loose with his possession in recent weeks. So he's just got against Liverpool. You can't be giving cheap balls away. And you saw Mangala. He should be starting every week. I'm really disappointed that he was dropped in the first place because he's growing into a really important player. I really like him. He pops up in all the right areas. He's really intelligent. He's good on the ball. He's calm. He'll take it in deep areas. He'll get the ball moving. He'll keep possession. And obviously he's popped up with a goal on Wednesday night. I think he's going to be a really good player for us. So yeah, he's one of the first on the team sheet for me now, Mangala.
Got good feet. He has got a lot better feet than Decore in that position. So it was a little bit of a shock for me that Decore was chosen over him in that position because he's just got better feet for me. And you need someone that can move the ball and be composed. And he has got that. Who are we going for in this front three then? Would you say McNeil's here, Lee?
McNeil's going to be in. He'll 100% start. No, where are we going? Left mid?
Yeah, it's probably Enjoy, isn't it?
Yeah, I think he. Oh, I don't know.
He did go. This is the thing. He switched it, didn't he? He did go Enjoy on the right last time, didn't he?
Yeah, I think. Yeah, there was calls for McNeil to go back on the left. I think the McNeil in the 10 wasn't working at all. So I think McNeil will go on the left. But that's what they should be doing. They should be swapping and interchanging, given the types of players that they are. If they're not getting joy against the fullback or one of the centre halves, whoever it may be, then you should be fluid in your approach and you should keep swapping them around, keep the opposition guessing.
McNeil's hot and cold sometimes. I thought McNeil was really poor against Man United. His set piece
was poor against Wolves
last game. Yeah, he was against Wolves, and I wanted to say that, but I didn't.
Yeah, no, he was poor. Everyone was saying it in the ground on Wednesday. I think from open play, I thought he was really, really poor. But his set pieces were unbelievable, and for that reason alone, if we've got a chance of winning tomorrow, that's going to be important. You've got to have him in.
Yeah, a couple of times McNeil, even though he wasn't playing in the 10, he kept moving into the 10 position. But then when it come to the final ball, his final ball was shocking for saying he's meant to be good at that part. It really was bad.
Yeah. He needs to be a lot sharper. He looks quite sluggish. Obviously, we know he's really, really one-footed. But everyone's got to be on it and sharp tomorrow against Liverpool. You've got to be at your best. So, I hope they've looked at the videos and stuff from the other night because McNeil needs to step up.
Are we going to Corey? Are we going to Corey in this number 10 position?
Oh. If it was me, I would be putting Harrison in. I know I'll probably get stick for this, but I'd be putting Harrison on the right and Ndiaye in the middle. The reason why I would is because I don't think Jack Harrison is as bad a player as people make out. He missed a couple of sitters the other night, but he will offer all sorts of protection to Ashley Young down the right. He works hard. He gets up and down the wing. He's got loads of energy. He runs. And obviously Decore has been struggling massively. He was so bad again against Wolves. And I just think he's so wasteful in possession. He's not offering the same goal threat as he was last season, the season before. So since the injury, he's just not been the same player. So I think you need your most mobile players up there. I'd be putting Harrison on the right, Ndiaye in the middle, and then Harrison covers for Young as well, whose legs aren't what they used to be. And from open play, Harrison can cause problems as well when he's on his game. And ask yourself, is he a worse option than Decore currently? The way Decore is playing, I'm not sure about that.
I've been the same as you. I've been crying out for Enjoy in the number 10, but I do think he's going to play Decore there, isn't he?
Yeah, that's to say. If we're predicting dice here, it's going to be Decore. I think unless Decore gets, I don't know, unless he gets kidnapped, he's playing under dice.
There are some links that he might go to Roma. I don't know whether people have seen that, but the links that they ain't that Decore. I know Lee wasn't a fan of him, but I've gone for the wrong one. Do you know what though? I do think he's really clumsy with his feet, and I do think that we should have a better player in that position. But we do win more games when he plays in that 10, don't we? It probably says that we're bad, the fact we win more. But a lot of the games, if you look at the stats of the games that we do win with him, it's when and I think it's not because he's good technically. I just think it's because he's not scared to press. Lee, like, do you know where you're playing McNeil there?
He does press.
Yeah, that's
and
it.
listen,
And
I've been a huge fan of Decore in the past. That he's always been one of my favourite players. I think he's been really good for Everton in the main since we bought him, and dead important. You're right in saying the link between him starting and our results is there for all to see. But he's really struggling this season, and his performances of late have been like really off. And I'm all for, you know, it's meritocracy, isn't it? If you're not playing well, you come off the side and you give someone else a shot. But I think if you look at all things considered, he's a goal threat. You know, set pieces, he's physical, he can press. He's going to play. He's going to play, isn't he? We know
that. Taxi for Roba. Nick said it in the comments. The Blues has then gone on and said, Decore doing the dog work. He's the glue in our team. Yes, he's sharp on the ball, but he don't win. We don't win without him. I get it. He is right. So who are we having up front? This is the big one just lately, isn't it? We I don't know if you see. We have the Albanian guy on the channel, and he follows Albania. He's literally every international game he's there. Yeah, he really does love Albania, and I like him, to be fair. And he said Broja was the real deal, and what he said Broja was, he really was last game. And I know you can't get overexcited about 10 minutes, but I am. I see more in those 10 minutes of Broja playing up front than what I've seen from any striker for Everton for a long time. It brought glimpses of having Ron being able to attack people and not be scared and actually look like he can score. But what's your thoughts on Broja before we choose the striker?
Oh, I thought he was absolutely fantastic. And yeah, of course, you can't get too carried away. But, so, you know, Everton fans don't get much to be excited about, Dan, do we? So when we do get a player coming on and having a cameo like that, then, of course, you're going to get a little bit excited, because that's what you go to games for. That's what you go to football for. You want to be on the edge of your seat. You want to be impressed by a player. His touch was immaculate. He looked quick. He was strong. He was willing to take the ball in the channels, like a real danger, real threat. So no matter who gets picked tomorrow, I'd stick my neck out and say that very, very soon he's going to be our first choice striker. And you can tell even the way Dice speaks about him, the big fans. I think Thelwell's wanted to bring him to the club for a number of transfer windows and eventually got it done when the situation was right. So I think he'll be starting very soon. I don't think it'll be tomorrow. I think he'll go with Calvert-Lewin.
Yeah, well, if you remember, when we had Lampard, we wanted him for 40 million. That was the price tag, 40 million. Lampard really wanted him. And he was just injury prone. But when he come on, a lot of people said to me he's lost his speed. He didn't look like he'd lost his speed last game. He looked ready. And this is it for him. I honestly think this is make or break for him. So I do think, do you know where we want a striker with something to prove? And we worry whether Calvert-Lewin's got the right head because he hasn't signed the contract and could be leaving. You know, with Brewer, he really wants to make a name for himself. And I like that. But we are going to have to go Calvert. I didn't think Calvert-Lewin was bad last game. That's one thing I will say. He's better than what he normally is.
Yeah, Calvert-Lewin had a good game midweek. And he was stupidly unlucky not to come away with a couple of goals as well. It's just not falling for him at the minute. But he was throwing his head in where it hurts. He was physical. The best version of Calvert-Lewin, I thought, on Wednesday. He didn't get on the score sheet, but he did everything else really well. And he'll have that derby performance fresh in his mind from April. And he'll be wanting to do the same again. And as you say, footballers have memories. And he'll be thinking, I got the better of Van Dijk and co. In April. I'm going to do the same tomorrow. So I think that'll play a big part in Dyche's decision making before the game. So I'm pretty certain Calvert-Lewin will start.
Right, so people, this is the lineup that me and Lee think Dyche will do. Lee's lineup, if I remember correctly, was Pickford in goals, it was Ashley Young left back, Branthwaite, Tarkowski. Right back, it was Patterson, and I want to see Patterson. He did put a wicked ball in the game that he did play when he come on the last couple of minutes. Garner Gay and Mangala Lee would play in the middle, he said. In the number 10, Illiman and Jai. On the right, McNeil. On the left, McNeil. On the right, Jack Harrison. And then we'd probably all like to see Brower start, but Calvert-Lewin starting. I think I'm right on that, Lee. That was your team, wasn't it, that you'd rather go for?
Yeah, that's what I'd like to see. But I think the only thing where I'm possibly second guessing myself is the Decore inclusion. I think I'd probably keep that from it's the Patterson for Mikalenko conundrum. That's what's not sitting right with me at the minute. I just think Patterson deserves a go. Everyone's saying that he's not been reliable and his performances haven't been up to it, but I think if Mikalenko's levels are anything to be judged upon, I think he's well overdue a shot, to be fair.
Something's gone on there with Dyche. We all heard about the slap around the head. Something's gone on. I feel Patterson's killed. Dyche has killed Patterson's career. Something has definitely gone on. And I was excited about Patterson under Lampard. When you say the derby, I was excited about him that you mentioned. That was the game where we all was putting pictures about of him, saying he looks like a real good right back that we need. But it's just gone downhill since Dyche has gone.
Hasn't had a chance. And I always think the barometer of an Everton player, you got a song for him, didn't he? Like early on. And I just think that's a good sign of you've got the fans behind you, you're someone who's impressed early on. And I just think, yes, he's raw. He's come down from Scotland. He only had limited appearances for Rangers. But he was always going to take time to adjust to the league. And he was an uncut diamond, but there was loads of signs there that if given an extended run, he would play his way into form, a little bit like Mikalenko did before the injury. But he's just never been given that chance. And whether it's because there's been falling out in the background, obviously that's been well publicised. We know the slap happened. The context of the slap, I don't think any of us knows, or how big the fallout was or is now. You know, has that been put to bed fully? We just don't know. But the fact of the matter is, he's just not getting a sniff, and I think that's a shame because in football, I think you should get an opportunity when other players are consistently not meeting the levels required. And Mikalenko, whether it's form or injury or both, is not meeting the required levels at the minute. He doesn't even look like a footballer. So if I'm not Jack Harrison, if I'm Nathan Patterson, I'm really disappointed that I'm not getting more minutes on the pitch. But I don't think that's going to change. So we can wind ourselves up all day. Under Dyche, that's not going to change, is it? Don't think.
No, I think Dyche doesn't feel that Mikalenko's a problem. The Blues have gone for Jordan Pickford, Young, Tarkowski, Branthwaite, Miko, and Jai, Garner Gay, Mangala, McNeil, Decore, and DCL. He's put his lineup in there. It's going to be a bit. I think a lot of people do. Looking at the comments, a lot of people do agree with our lineup. Dyche, he isn't going to change it, is he? He's going to go exactly what worked last time. We all know what he's like. And I think I don't know whether you listen to his press. And some people, I always say what I think. Some people said, "Oh, he means nothing by it." But when Dyche was in the press and he was like, the derby's for the Everton fans. It's just for the fans. And I get it. Of course, it's for the fans. We've got the history. We've got the generations and stuff like that. The derby's for the Everton fans. It's not for me. But I was thinking it's for you as well. If you want to be a top manager, you should really want to beat Liverpool in the derby when they're top of the league. And when he said that, I was thinking, have you been told that you're gone or something like that? Because it just didn't sit well with me. He said a couple of things in this press where I was just thinking to myself, like, you seem a bit like you're not arse. He likes to play it down, though, doesn't he, Lee? Dyche does like to play everything down, like he's too cool. But I think he's excited inside. You never know.
Yeah. I think he's not done himself any favours in that respect with his press conferences and stuff. I don't think he's made massive attempts to endear himself to Everton fans since he came in to the building. I just don't think he's bothered about that. I don't think he cares if he's liked or not. But yeah, I think ahead of a derby, I think you want to hear a little bit more passion coming from all angles, not just the fans and the players. I think you want your manager really bang up for it as well. So I think everyone knows my opinions on Dyche. I don't want to be a manager of Everton for the long term. I think we need to aim a lot higher. I think his ceiling is where we are now. And if we ever want to progress past that, we need someone else, someone different. But what I will say in his favour is that he contains a lot of the noise quite well. And when difficult situations present themselves, he handles that and he deflects a lot of that and he sort of keeps things in house, which I think has done us no harm in the last couple of seasons. So heading into a derby, I've through a few from the Bullens and other things, I've spoken to a lot of ex-players about Everton's record in derbies, and I think where we've gone wrong in the past and why we've got such a crap record is that we've played the occasion too much, and Liverpool have just played the fixture and played the 11. And where we've got really riled up and lost our heads and forgot what we are. There's been times over the last 20 years, there's been the odd time where we've gone into the game almost as favourites against them, and we've still not come out on top because they stay calm and they just play the game. Where we lose our shape, we lose our heads, we get men sent off, we make silly mistakes. So what you want to see is none of that. You want to see Everton at the best tomorrow, keeping our discipline. Obviously, rough them up, make it aggressive, get in the face, but nothing stupid. Don't give referee any stupid decisions to make. You know what Liverpool are like. If there's a sniff of a penalty, they're going to get it. If there's a sniff of a red card for an Everton player, they're going to get it. Because that's the way it goes, unfortunately, in football. And you can say tin apple grade or conspiracy theories all you like. I just judge things with what I see week in, week out. And Liverpool and a couple of other clubs get decisions all the time. So we need to be careful not to give the referee easy decisions to make and just play our own game. So I think Dyche is particularly good at doing that and keeping it simple. So I hope he does that tomorrow because we're going to need to.
Yeah, it's some cracking stuff. I completely agree with you. Dyche, sometimes you get what they are. And Dyche, for me, do you think he's a manager that gets you around the bottom fighting? I hoped that he had more in the locker, personally. I hoped that he could have progressed. Do you know where he got Europa League with Burnley? I hope that he had that David Moyes, and I hate to say this, that David Moyes quality where he can push just below like the top 6 or something like that. But he's too stubborn. He really is too stubborn, and he stays. He's got his like CV, but his CV of his skills are just what he does around the bottom. And he doesn't add to it to make him. He could make himself a better manager. I honestly do feel if he wasn't stubborn, Dyche, he could make himself a better manager. If he was just a bit more open, he could make himself a better manager. But for me, he's quite stubborn. Like you've just said, though, the big problem with Lampard is that the players was probably in charge more than the manager. And I think when Dyche has come in, he has took control, and the players don't. They don't they don't mess about. Dyche has got the players under his control. That's a good thing, I think. They don't mess about, and they do sometimes don't pass well, but they do all fight for us a little bit more. So I think that's a good thing from Dyche. He is putting that in the team, a bit more fight, but it's just tactics and substitutions is just what gets me. But I'm behind him. I am behind him, especially this game. The Patterson song was, if you're looking for a right back, we've got a Glaswegian name for Patterson somewhere running. It's one of the best songs, Lee. I want him to be so good just for the song, because it's probably one of the best player songs that we've got. So I hope Patterson does come to light, because that's a cracking song. Right, here we go, people. I am going to just chuck on the screen quick, because I did put it here. Here we go. That is the league table. They are at the top. Lee Signal's gone a little bit there, I think. They are at the top, but not by many points. Well, they are at the top by a lot of points, but if we take 3 points off them, it won't be as many points. So I think it's massive that we do win. We have come away there a little bit from the bottom, which is good. I'm happy about that. Lee will come back in. He's got to end the show with us. I'm pretty sure he'll come back on. But yeah, when you look at the league table there, we're starting to push up. If we could get the 3 points, it would make a massive difference. It really would. We're on 14 now. You get that 3. We start to crack on. You can push up that table. We're on 17 then. and you look, there ain't many points in it. You can soon push up that table if we do get a win this derby. 7 points they've got. If we don't want them to win the league, we've got to do something about it. We really have got to do something about it if we do not want them to win the league. I'm hoping, I think Lee's signal just went. I'm hoping he comes back on for the score predictions. To get your lights on. People, can you get your score predictions in? And we'll finish the show with score predictions now. If you can get your score predictions in the comments. Lee's coming back in. Here we go.
Sorry, mate. I've moved just in case it's a signal issue at my end. So
it was. I just put on the table saying they're 7 points ahead. If they are to not win the league, we need to look. They've got the table there. Look, if we need to stop them, we do need to stop them.
Mm-hmm.
If 7 points, if we could take 3 away from me, it'd be a massive. And the point, we're on 14. If we can get to 17, you can crack on around that mid-table, can't you, Lee? There's not many points.
Yeah, no, you can. I was looking before the Wolves game, and there was like a worrying gap starting to emerge between us and sort of West Ham. Obviously, Man United, they'll probably kick on. But you're looking at above Man United, who's going to come back the other way. You're not sure. So you think our ceiling this season is probably 14th. That's probably the highest that we're going to finish, or where we are now. So it's about keeping the other teams below us. But you'd think with the quality that we've got in terms of England's number one, the goalkeeper that we've got, the centre-back pairing that we've got, how tight we can be in defence. If we can just steady that ship and get back to being tight, we'll be okay. And you just don't know what the second half of the season is going to bring. You've got a takeover coming. You don't know what the freaking group are going to want to do. Are they going to want to bring players in? Are they going to want to bring their own manager in? And who knows? You could see a complete different second half of the season, and we could take off. But from Liverpool's point of view, they are almost running away with it, and they need a defeat soon. If they don't get beat soon, a gap could emerge where you just can't see them getting caught. Because City are not the beast that they were in the last 3 or 4 seasons, and you never trust Arsenal, do you? Like you do with City. You always think Arsenal have got a defeat in them, and the strength in depth isn't as good as like the City teams that have gone by in previous years. So Liverpool need the defeat soon. I hope it's at Goodison tomorrow. I'm praying with everything that I've got that it's at Goodison tomorrow.
If everybody keeps bottling it, I've been waiting for someone to beat them, and I thought Newcastle was going to, but they didn't. So I think it's time for someone to. Right, people, we are at that time now where we are going to do score predictions. So get your score predictions in the comments. We are that pathetically. We do go goal scorers as well. So we go correct score and goal scorers. So have a think in the comments. Get it in the comments. We are finishing the show with score predictions. It is the derby. It is a big game. Right, I'm going to put it on you firstly. What have you got for me? You never know what people are going to say here. It's your first time on the channel, so I don't know what you got for me.
I don't know. Are we going heart or head?
I don't know. I'm giving you one chance. Are you more of a heart man or are you more of a head man?
If you've
got £1 million free bet to put on, what you think? No, go with your. Tell us your heart and your head. Go on, both. I'll let you have both.
Right, me head says it'll be a draw. Purely because if you look at the last 10 fixtures at Goodison, I think probably 7 of them have been draws. They don't like coming to Goodison. 0-0.
You see, your head says 0-0, so that's easy goal scorer.
0-0. My head says 0-0. My heart says another 2-0. It would be lovely. It's got a bit of romance. It's Goodison's last game. Come on. If we can't get up for tomorrow, you can't get up for you shouldn't be an Everton fan. You can't get up for anything. It's the last derby at Goodison Park, the stadium that we've all grown up in, that our ancestors have been to and come and gone, that we've heard stories about, that opposition players and managers sort of fear and love in equal measure. To to see the last derby come and go and get beat doesn't even bear thinking about. It could happen, unfortunately, because we're facing a Liverpool side who are really, really strong and we're not in the best position. But if there's any justice and poetic justice in the world, then Everton will come out on top tomorrow. 2-0. So I'm praying and manifesting a 2-0.
Who are your goal scorers?
My goal scorers would be Decore, because he's overdue one, and everyone's been slagging him off, and then Brozier. So Calvert-Lewin to beat them up for an hour, rough them up, Brozier to come on and seal the deal in the last 10 minutes with another cameo, and then proper cement himself in the heart of the Evertonians. That's what I'm going with.
I can see that. I can, like you say, it's always when you doubt a player, he just pops up, and you could see Decore in the derby popping up.
A lot of averages.
Yeah, you could see it, and then Brower scoring the winner to make everyone. That's amazing. I would so take that. My score prediction, I'm going to go for. Yours are good. I get both of yours. I get that it could stay 0-0 because we are going to defend well. I hope we defend well anyway. I pray to God. Do not concede early. Our fans, that's the massive thing for me, is that we've got to use Goodison Park. And if we concede early, I think Goodison Park's, I hate to say finish, but it's going to be hard, isn't it, to get up for a 1-0 down. So I think if we can start, this is the problem with the Everton players. They often don't come out and use the fans. Come out, put a big tackle in, and the fans will get you going. Trust me. Just the music's there from the fans. All you've got to do is just go out and play the music. And by what I'm saying is, you just tackle, put a big tackle in at the start. Don't let them play how they want to play either. Stop them. I mean, get in the faces. They can pass the ball well. Don't let them pass the ball well. We've got a chance here. We have got a chance. My score prediction is, I'm going to go 2-1. I'm going to give that. I prefer your 2-0. 2-1 though. I'm going to give them a goal, which I hate doing. Who shall I give their goal to? I hate all their play. I really hate them. I do. Like I had a fan that asked me, because I normally get an opposition fan on, but I did think to myself, like, no offense, I love the rivalry. It's not personal, but I love the rivalry. So I don't like Liverpool. I don't like the players. I haven't got nothing good to say about them. So
don't apologise, Dan. We're all the same.
No, I didn't get him on. So their goal scorer, I'm tempted to do an own goal here. I don't want to give him a goal. I'm going to go for Jones. I'm going to go for Jones. I don't want to give it anyone else. He's just someone that I don't care about. So I'm going to give it Jones. And then our goal scorer, I'm going to give it to Njai in the derby. Would be sexy. Come on,
yeah,
Njai.
I'd love
Colonel Njai. Rip them to pieces. Yeah. So Njai to rip Arnold to pieces because they all think Arnold's good. Or that Bradley. Rip Bradley to pieces because we've all seen that crap tackle that he made ages ago.
It was literally a tackle.
It was just a tackle.
It was literally just a tackle. You see them every single game. Yeah,
I can't believe it. Yeah, they put music on it. They literally, I think they paraded. I think they paraded Lee for a tackle. Yeah. So Njai to rip Bradley and score would be fantastic. And I'm on the Brozier or Brower, however you say it. I'm on him. I really am. I'd love him to start and Dyche just show some bollocks and say start. We'll give you 60 minutes and Calvert-Lewin will come on. But I don't mind Calvert-Lewin in the derby because, like you just said, Lee, because he did well last time. I think Van Dijk will fear him a little bit. Do you know what I mean? It will be in his head a little bit.
100%.
Let's get these score predictions on, people, and then we will finish the show. We have gone a bit over, but it is the derby. It's the last derby at Goodison Park. So, of course, we've gone a little bit over. Going up to get your score predictions in, people. If you haven't got them,
I hope we perform better than my Wi-Fi signal.
It happens. Don't worry. It's your first appearance. You get away with it on your first appearance.
Hey, tell you what, it's not happened to me before that.
Nick, I know you're a professional. I remember back in the day when I first started Spaces, you was the big timer, and I went on a space all shit in my pants. And Spaces is probably what started me off to get the confidence. And I went on your space and got to talk and got all excited. Yeah. And since then, we've got the Toffee Bluecast now. Nick Carr, 2-2 he's going for. Emma.
A draw. See, draws.
A draw.
Yeah, draws. See a draw, definitely.
Be boring as she said. We've got to win.
I hope so. Well, in any other year, I always say I'll snatch your hand off for a draw. and I'll take a draw and I'll run because I hate them. I hate the derbies. I hate Liverpool. I hate going. I hate the whole occasion. I just wish they didn't exist. But obviously, with it being Goodison's last derby, I don't want it to be a draw. I want to win.
Yeah, same. The thing is, the way I see it is, they spent a lot of money. So if they beat us, wowee, you spent loads of money and you beat us, and we've spent nothing in the last couple of seasons. So it's not a free hit, but there's less on it for me. I can say, you know what, you spent 70, 80 million on players. We've spent nothing. So, but if you beat them, that's the thing. It's like a Rocky, isn't it? If you're the underdog and you beat them, it's twice as good because we spent nothing on players and we beat them and they spent all that money. The Blues has said 3-0. The Blues is quite serious, to be fair. He's not scared of saying we're going to lose. He's gone for 3-0.
I don't think it'll be. We could get beat, but I don't think it'll be 3-0.
Nick Hart has gone. He said his heart's 2-2 and his head's 3-1. So it's not as good as your heart and Headley. It's not as good as yours, but it's still. He's gone for a heart for a draw.
More accurate than my heart and head, though, couldn't it?
The Blues has then got to say the atmosphere was crap versus Wolves, even when we was winning 4-0. It's going to take a while to get us fans back on track.
Yeah, you're not just going to click your fingers, and that's to say the performance against Wolves was crap as well. We won 4-0, and it sounds mad saying it, but the performance was the most boring 4-0 I've ever been to in my life.
I found the reaction of the game I found really weird because I wanted to celebrate that we'd won and I didn't want to be miserable, but I wanted to also say the way we started those first 4 minutes, they could have scored 2 and we were shocking. So I wanted to call out that we was quite open and bad. But then when you just won 4-0, you can't moan too much, but I've got to tighten it up, Lee. You're not wrong. We have got to tighten it up. Albanian, he's playing football. He's gone for 2-0. Corey opener. Yes, he likes your score, Lee. He really does like your score. Right, everybody, thanks for coming on. That is the score predictions. I'm sticking with your heart, Lee. 2-0. Yeah, I'm sticking with your heart, not your head. Your head can go away. Your heart, we're going for 2-0. I'm going for 2-1. Let's do this. I can't wait for it now. I'm excited. Thanks, everyone, for chucking your comments on all the way through. We are nearly on 5,000 subscribers, and we've been going 2 seasons, so we're really happy with the way this is going. If you can hit that like and subscribe, it really does help us grow. More people will see us on YouTube. We can get more Evertonians listening, and we can get them on as guests. We're not scared of giving people guest appearances. Lee, I don't know where to say you're from. I mean, you're on X, ain't you? You've been on the Bullens. You've been everywhere. You've been on BBC. Cracking guest. Where can people find you? Tell the audience.
Mate, as I say, I'm just an Everton fan. Obviously, most people will just know me off Twitter or X, whatever you want to call it. Previously, a view from the Bullens for 3 years. But in the Gladys Street, that's where people can find me. In the Gladys Street, every home game. I was going to say tearing me hair out, but
he is hardcore. I've seen a picture of him in the kit when he was 5 in the old school kit. Got some cool pictures you have, old school ones.
Everton's my life, always has been, always will be. I wish it wasn't the case. Honestly, I can't even lie. I wish that I hadn't been brought up this way because it's horrible. It's a horrible existence. I'm optimistic that things will change. Our time's got to come. We've hung in there. Everyone has. And if anyone deserves a little bit of a break and a bit of a change in fortune, it's Everton fans. So let's hope that with this takeover, we're going to do it.
Come on.
Yeah.
The light. It just makes us stronger, Lee. It really does. If you can support Everton, you can do anything in life. It just sets us up to be stronger.
Yeah, but I've had enough of the character building stage now. That's gone on for 30 years.
Yeah, I don't know. I am. Yeah, I want some good match reactions.
I want some good times now.
I'm bored of I agree with Lee. I'm sick and tired of the rehab after every game, trying to make everyone happy and everyone stressed. No more rehab, people. No more rehab. We're going to start after every game, celebrating, going into the new stadium, competing at the top end of the table, getting back to where we belong. Right, everybody. Thanks for listening. I am dropping the banner now. Up the top is. And match reaction will be here straight after the derby tomorrow if the wind isn't too windy. Let's hope it goes ahead. I think the wind will help us, to be fair. See you later, everyone.